Salve a tutti, sono Almarok e benvenuti in un nuovo video. Oggi siamo qui per intervistare Messiah, famoso per essere stato il primo cantante dei Mayhem, nonché per essere il cantante degli Order. Prima di iniziare ringrazio Messiah per la sua disponibilità, per aver accettato di essere nostro ospite, vi lascio l'intervista e vi auguro buona visione.
Nice to meet you and thank you for accepting this.
Yeah, it's okay.
Why you started to do music and why you started to do with metal music? Talking about the beginning of your career.
Yeah, it's a very long time ago. But yeah, I started when I was well, my first band, I was 9 years old. That was we were some couple of friends playing Beatles songs at school. So yeah, but that's what kind of started me. Started with singing, doing the vocals, and then when I turned 13, I changed school to high school, high school. What do you call it? Junior high or whatever. Anyway, I met some other guys, and we wanted to play band, and I was quite into punk at that time, which I still am, of course. But this was in 1980, and I grew up with an uncle who was giving me a lot of music, playing a lot of music for me during my upbringing, and he went to London to buy a lot of music since I was a kid, and he introduced me to Black Sabbath, he introduced me to Deep Purple, stuff like that. And then he came back when I was about 10 years old in 1977 with Nevermind the Bollocks, with Sex Pistols and stuff like that, The Damned. And so I was into punk from very early on as a kid. When I started the new school, I was into punk, but I met a couple of other guys. They were listening to like Motorhead and Iron Maiden. Well, not Iron Maiden that early, but at least Motorhead and stuff like that. And introduced me to that, and I was like, yeah, this is right up my alley. So and I was the bass player and a singer. So to me, Lemmy was a huge influence for me. And it started off like that. We played like punk / metal, rock and roll very early on with the band, and then I kept on doing that for some years until 1984, when I met Mayhem.
Tell me about your experience with Mayhem.
What happened was that I was in 1984. I went to a concert with Dio in Norway, and at that time, not many people in Norway was into Venom. Well, some were, but you still didn't see that many patches on the backs of that people were Venom patches. You know, it wasn't that much of it in 1984. So I had a Venom patch on my back, a huge one, and I was just walking outside the venue, and suddenly I heard some people behind me shout, "Oh, Venom, Venom!" They started shouting, and I turned around, and it was Euronymous and Necro. Øystein and Jørn, which are the names. And I never met them before, and they also were into Venom. So we started talking, and suddenly they asked me, I was like, okay, do you sing? Yeah, I'm singing in a band. Yeah. Do you want to join our band? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So yeah, they that's how it started. We we just met at a concert, and it was thanks to Venom that we started talking. So yeah, that's the beginning.
Why you decided to leave from the band after that clash?
Yeah, no, that's a complete other story because I was moving away. Well, I didn't live in the same place as the rest of the band. I was living on the other side of Oslo. It wasn't that far, so I just took the train. However, in 1986, I was moving to a place called Lillehammer, which I still live, and that's a little bit further away. And I all this time, those 2 years with Mayhem, I also still had my other band, like Motorhead / punk band, uh, which I had since early on. And when I moved to Lillehammer, I had to choose. I couldn't have two bands that far away. When I was going to school, to university, or college, or what do you call it, and live in Lillehammer and have two different bands in two different places, some hours away, was impossible for me. So I told them that I can't do this anymore, because I was prioritizing my old band, which was like my because that was the band I had been playing with all those years. Well, and then you might say, well, might be a bad decision or something, but that's how it was. And at that time as well, not long after I quit, Mannheim, the drummer, quit as well, because at that time it seemed like Mayhem was a dead end. Obviously, it wasn't, but at that time, it seemed like it might not be a future here, and yeah, so I made that decision just because I had to move, and it was too far for me to be a huge part of it at that time. But we kept in touch. We stayed friends, had contact. Wasn't any bad blood. Was nothing like that. Uh, we had an understanding. That was how it was. So I kept contact with them. Uh, all up till Øystein was killed, I had a lot of contact with him, and also with the others. So yeah, that's how it was.
Mayhem are considered the fathers of the Norwegian black metal. Now, today, what is your opinion about this? And your reaction at this from Mayhem?
Truth is that when we started off, being very outspoken. We were the biggest, we were the hardest, we were the rawest, we were the fastest. That was how it was. So we kind of built a reputation around that. And when Death Crush was released, indeed it was extreme. It was something special. Of course, you might argue that you had bands like Celtic Frost, Hellhammer, Bathory, bands like that, And Venom, of course, because Venom was the main reason for Mayhem even started. However, it was something quite new. Don't think we actually realized it. At least I didn't realize it at that time. To me, it was more like we just take that music we're into ourselves and we just turn it a little up to 11. It, and turn it up to 11 and play a little bit faster. That was the idea. But now, in hindsight, looking back, I see it, I get it, that yes, this was something groundbreaking. It was a kind of it was the start of something new. One might argue that it's not, and I'm not one to. I'm not arguing about it, but that's my opinion. That even though we didn't understand, maybe not understood it right then, today, yeah, I see that Death Crush is something, the beginning of a new era, you know.
What do you think about the facts of Inner Circle and the death of Euronymous? How you remember about it?
I know, I respect that people are curious about it. Well, I was I saw it on the news, on the telly, that Øystein was dead, and I was like, yeah, it came like a shock. However, it was maybe something that was bound to happen to someone. You know, it started getting extremely serious, which I didn't like. I didn't like the way the black metal circle in Norway was the path they were walking. I was not a part of that. I didn't, and I was also very outspoken to Øystein about it. That I didn't like what was happening. However, I was not a part of that inner circle anyway, because I had quit the band and I was more into punk and hardcore. But I kept in touch with Øystein. I met him a lot of times. We went out together, had a few beers together. A lot of people say it was say he was never drank. That's bullshit. But he didn't get himself drunk. But we had a few beers at the local pub, stuff like that, talking. And so I always told him that I didn't. There were like things with this around this that I didn't like. The same with Pelle. The story when what he did to the corpse of Pelle, took these pictures and stuff like that. I also said that I didn't like that at all. So yeah, it was something that was bound to happen to somebody. I just didn't expect it to be Øystein that was killed. But the first thing on my mind was that it was maybe it was some religious fanatics who killed him. That was my first thoughts, that it was some crazy Christian cult or something like that, because at that time, one must remember that at that time, the black metal scene in Norway was very, very in the news, with the church burnings, everything. It was something that the tabloid thrived upon. So it wasn't that far-fetched to think that there were some Christian lunatics that had read about all this, because everybody read about it and acted upon it. That was my first thought. However, the truth seemed very different. And I'm not going to go into what I think about the murderer, because it's nothing to me.
Mayhem are reunited with the original lineup. How was born this idea, and you've been programming reunions in the future?
Yeah. No, right now it's been a tour with Mayhem. It's because it's the 40th anniversary, and due to that, both Mannheim and me were asked to join. Because it's like to get the original lineup for a few songs. So we did, and yes, of course, we wanted to do that. It's an honor, you know. So yeah, and we practiced a bit with the band. We did a couple of gigs in Oslo, and they asked us to join us on the Eastern European tour. Just a few weeks, a little over a week ago. We played in Greece. Let's see, Greece, Turkey, Romania, Hungary, Czech, and Poland. So yeah, it was to me, it was just an honor to be a part of it. What will happen later, I don't know. I'm all for it, but I need to be invited, and the tour in USA and Canada, we are not going due to it's too soon to get a visa. It's too late. I mean, too late for us to get a visa and stuff like that. And it needs a little bit more planning for both me and for Mannheim, because we have other things as well. And then I know it's gonna be some gigs in Germany, and probably I think Italy as well. What happens there, I don't know. If I'm invited, I'm probably saying yes. However, I'm gonna have a surgery in the end of November, so I don't know how long it takes for me after the surgery to be able to go back on stage. Hopefully, it's just like going in, have the surgery, walk out again. I don't know. But then again, I can't tell, because I haven't been invited yet. However, we've done this a couple of times before as well, some years ago, and I think I never turn them down. So if they ask me again, I won't. I'm very positive to do it as long as I'm able to, you know.
Now about Order. I was born Order, and talking about this Order, your band.
Yeah, that started like 11 years ago or something. It was Anders Odden, the guitarist. He phoned me up and asked me if I wanted to start a band with like 4 old veterans, 2 original members from Mayhem, me and Mannheim, and then Anders, that and René, who were both original members from Cadaver. And it was like, yeah, play some Cadaver songs, play some Mayhem songs. Yeah, why not? I joined, Mannheim joined, and we started. And it didn't take very long before we understood that this is better than just doing some cover versions, you know. This collaboration this sounds good. So we decided to get the proper name, and instead of searching for a lot of evil names that everybody else got, we just thought, well, Order, it has so many layers. It can mean so many different things. So and well, we thought, that sounds good, and we started making our own songs. And then sadly, our bass player René, he died of cancer. So we had a long period of time where nothing happened. We didn't know what we were gonna do. And then we had found this other guy, Stu Max. He used to play bass with a rock and roll punk rock and roll band called Glucifer. Kind of it was like they were quite big in Norway at that time. He wanted to join, and the rest is history. We recorded our first album, released on Listenable Records in France, and then we just went on from there. We did a couple of shows here and there. We played in Poland, and mostly Norway, and the same. Then we released the next album a couple of years ago, and now we were in the studio doing our third album as we speak. So I'm going to studio in a week or two to do quite a lot with that. So hopefully we will be finished with it before Christmas probably. And then, well, it will take a little bit more time because we need to deliver everything to Listenable, and they're gonna print it, and everything takes time. But at least the recording is we're supposed to be finished with that in good time before the year is over, hopefully.
If you want to be remembered for an album in your career, which is and why?
Interesting question. Our next album. That's the best answer I can get, because every album I have, also with my punk band, you know, it's like different aspects of my life, and I would like to say our next album.
An advice for who want to be a musician nowadays. How is difficult and how many things are changed when you started from nowadays in the metal scene?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, that's a little bit a tricky question, because because today I'm not chasing anything. If you get my drift, I'm not. I have done that, and it paid off in some way, and yeah. I don't have this. Oh, I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to be, I don't have that mindset right now. I do what I like, and that's about it. So my advice, well, I think maybe don't take things too seriously. Do what you feel, and yeah, yeah, it's hard to say because at that when I was young and started off with music, I wanted to be the most extreme, you know. So it's like I can't say don't do like me, but then again, how much more extreme can you be than well? There's a lot of much more extreme music than early Mayhem today. So I guess it's still possible to make music even more extreme. Um, but yeah, believe in what you do, and don't necessarily try to copy. You know, uh, find your own path and don't take any bullshit. That's the most the most important thing. Don't take any fucking bullshit. You know, believe in what you do.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for staying today. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.